Coming to you live from the palatial studios of PBJ Productions. Welcome to Patrick and BJ Talk Real Estate, where we talk about life, the universe, and everything as it relates to real estate. Hey everybody, it's BJ.
And Patrick.
And we're back talking all things real estate. And thank you for joining us today. And we have a special guest with us today, Gail Owens, who's the president of Funding for Life.
Yep.
Now, we want to talk to Gail about just what they do as an organization, but they have an event coming up, and we just want to encourage you, if you're in the greater Victoria area, that you can go and be part of it. You can support it, and we'll talk about how we can do that as well. So let's get going on. Gail, just let's start with what is Funding for Life?
Funding for Life is a new charity. Well, new charity because this is 2024 is the first year we're actually active. It's been around for longer than that, but not been active. So starting off, the man who founded it 10 or more years ago, his name's Stephen Davis, and just has a heart for people. And, you know, as we see every day looking around, there's a lot of people out there who have medical needs, and it costs a lot of money if it's things that the government doesn't pay for.
Right. So let me just interrupt right there, because a lot of people I know think that, well, because so this is for medical care, and a lot of people, their first thought is, well, wait a minute, we have a medical system, faults, foibles, and all, but we have a medical system, so they don't have any concept of having to pay out of pocket for things. So tell me, what is that about? Why would someone have to pay out of pocket?
Well, if anything that you have, like different diseases, different increments that are causing us pain, you need natural practitioners for.
Okay.
And so there's naturopath, homeopath, chiropractic, massage therapy, neurofeedback. There's a lot of things, like when you have a concussion. Neurofeedback will help you with that. And these are all natural things, but bottom line is they really do make a huge difference. Some people feel that they're just whatever, and you might have that when you have a sore back. But some people have serious back issues, body issues. Like I say, a brain concussion is a very bad thing.
Sure.
Neurofeedback will help that, but it's not covered with medical. So mostly it may be the natural care practitioners.
Right, so there's people falling between the cracks. If like your care plan or your insurance from work doesn't cover you, then this is where this funding helps out.
Yeah, it could be, and some people they have the extended medical, which is a lovely thing to have, and they really need 10 massage therapy treatments, and that's all they're going to be covered for, and they go, well, it's $140. I got to stop, even though I'm not feeling
They're not well.
better. Yeah, for sure.
So now, so we get it that there can be conditions where treatment outside of kind of the standard medical coverage may be required. What was the birthing of this all about? How did this come about? You mentioned it's been 10 years in the works.
Yeah. Well, again, there's all sorts of people. I've known these people for a long time and watched where their heart is, and where your heart is where you usually go. You want to help people. We believe we're not here just for help for us. You know, we're pretty blessed, even though we have difficulties. We're here to help other people, because my mother always reminded me, you can look at those are better off than you, but there's always someone worse off than you.
Right.
So they wanted to find it, and they found several of their friends that were very, very sick and absolutely could not get better. I mean, we're talking sick for 20 years with something that, and the doctor's just going, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. Just you're just tired. You're just overworked. You're just and we found several of those that were being totally ignored. And if you go, I have friends who've had that, where serious injury to the spine, and the doctor couldn't find it. She had 20 plus years of serious pain, and he's going, it's all in your head. And after a doctor tells you that for 20 years, you start thinking, must be all in my head. Yeah. I absolutely nothing. Well, these are where some of the people, and a lot of people now, are going to some of the natural care practitioners, and they're asking, what do you have? There's different natural things, and they say, well, why don't you try this? And it's different for every person. Something that will help me with my pain, take down the inflammation, might not help you. But something that you found might help another person. So those are the things people can try now.
Okay. So now, Funding for Life. If someone says, hey, how can I take it? There's a couple of things here. Number one, what if they need to use the service? How would they go about doing that?
they check out fundingforlife.ca, which is our website.
Okay.
And they'll see actually the poster that's talking about our fundraiser coming up.
Yeah.
And they'll see there's a board of directors. There's the apply for funding link.
Okay.
Click on the apply for funding link. The one next to it is donate, so you can do either. And it gives a little bit more information about our mission and what you do. And then when you fill in the apply for funding link, click submit, and it comes through to me. And then we take it to our committee, who will be able to look at it and see if we can
Right.
approve them for funding.
Okay. And that was fundingforlife.ca.
Yep, that's the website.
Okay. Now, the other reason Gail is with us today is there's a fundraiser you guys are putting on. You're going to see this right away. Because we're going to have to get this on right away. But the event itself is on the 25th. Is that right?
You betcha. Yep, it is.
And everybody knows where the Luxon Fairgrounds are.
Saanich Fairgrounds.
That's what I meant.
I knew you meant that.
That's what I meant. I meant that.
You did.
So, okay. So tell us about the event. So it's at the Saanich Fairgrounds.
Yes, on May 25th. So it's just 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock, because we'll be in the morning setting up, and after that cleaning up.
Okay.
We're going to have car washes, all sorts of activities for fun, as well as earning money. So car washing, face painting, barbecue. We're going to have bouncy castles, and inside that, when you get in, we'll have arrows to say where, because the Saanich Fairgrounds is a large area.
Pretty extensive.
We're in the Poplar Room, actually, is where we
Okay.
are, and right out front is where we put the barbecue, and there's going to be some booths. Some of the natural care practitioners will have their booths there.
Okay.
We're going to have the Victoria Royals. Some of the Victoria Royals hockey team will be there. They're going to bring Marty the Marmot, who loves to have fun. They're going to have a plastic net with kids to be able to play, and the kids love seeing Marty the Marmot.
Okay.
And all those different aspects, and inside in the Poplar Room, we're going to have a silent auction donation. So we've got lots of different donations coming in. Anybody else who has any, you can always just check it out, the website, and let me know.
So hang on, let me just stop you right there.
Sure.
So before we go on to that, so first of all, it's a free event, but people can make a donation when they come.
That's right.
Right. So the point is, come have some fun, but make a contribution as well.
That's what we're hoping for.
Is okay.
Absolutely.
So that's part one.
Yes, it is.
And so that if you're looking for something that's fun for the family, for on the 25th, go out to the Saanich Fairgrounds. You said from 12
to 3.
to 3.
Yep.
Okay. So that's part one. Part two, there's a silent auction.
There is.
Okay. So here's what we want to talk about next then is, because people can do one of two things. They can show up and bid on things at the silent auction.
Absolutely.
But you guys are also still looking for items for the silent auction. Is that correct?
Absolutely. If someone has something they would like to donate, we would be blessed to have it, for sure.
Yeah. So if you're watching and saying, hey, we'd like to make a contribution, maybe it's from your business, maybe it's you personally, we'll put the contact information in the description so you can reach out and do what you can as far as a contribution. And also, if you're looking for any more information, I guess, too, right? Because this is just the starting point for you guys. Is that right?
It is. Brand new. Starting. When you start, you're starting with zero, and we want to get going out there. The faster we get income coming in, the sooner we can help more people.
Right.
And so if you're not able to come, if you're not able to bring a silent auction donation, there's a donate button, and you can donate by credit card, Visa, debit, whatever you want to donate. You can just donate something, and that will help as well.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's fundingforlife.ca.
That's right. Yeah, that's the website.
So Gail, what got you involved with this? Do you have a personal connection to this circumstance that people are going through, or yourself? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. I'll say I've known that Stephen Davis is one of our board of directors. You'll see when you look up the website, and he founded it, and I've known him and his family for many years now. And just talking and getting to know each other, as you know, you have friends that you've had for 20 years plus, you get to know what do people like and what do they not like. And for over the years, he and his board of directors talked about things, watched, and noticed where my heart is.
Okay.
And again, I do have several people. I have people who have died of things that I now know could have been taken care of by some of the natural care practitioners. We've had a lot of meetings, And my heart just makes my heart ache.
People close to you?
Absolutely. And it just, you think, how could this have happened when it's something, there are some natural things. And the doctors, the government of Canada, they only know so much. Everybody only knows so much in such areas. But now that I've noticed all these different natural things, again, I've seen the benefits that they can do in taking with someone who just can't sleep. There are different natural things that can help them sleep instead of taking drugs.
Right.
And so the more I see of these things, the more I just went, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I would like to help with. And they saw that, they had their meetings and appointed me president. So yeah, it hurts me to see anybody dying who doesn't need to at a certain age, at a young age.
Of course.
And or just suffering for 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
Just thinking, well, this is the way it is. I just have to accept this pain and it's all day long.
Well, it affects people's quality of life.
Your quality
overall, right? Their happiness.
Absolutely. And I know someone we're talking to just last week said not only they've been married for 30 years and she's able to move him and he's not. And it affects your marriage. It affects you were going to travel. You can't travel. There's all these things and you just set back to settle. And I don't like settling for less if I don't have to. And so I don't think anybody else should. We live in Canada. It's the best country in the world, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, of course. Do you have an idea of how many people this affects, let's say in Victoria or BC or across Canada?
Oh, well, let's just start with hundreds of thousands.
Hundreds of thousands?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So even like supporting a fundraiser like this, a cause like this, will affect many people.
Absolutely. Well, I would say thousands just on Vancouver Island.
Thousands.
Just on Vancouver Island. And we are able to do it all across Canada. But of course, we're starting here because this is where we are. And you haven't got office space or any of that stuff yet because you need to have funds to do that. So absolutely, if you just think of it from donating a little bit, I mean, if people could just start with a small amount every month, that will help us to say, you know what? The people that are coming in, when they send in their applications, we can't say yes until we have the funds.
That's amazing. Every time I talk to a charity, I want to see where the money is being spent. Like if the money is being raised, donated, items for auction, how is that money distributed afterwards, after it's gone from here?
Well, basically what we've got we have no employees yet, we have no money, but we hope to have 3 or 4 employees once money starts coming in.
Yeah.
But I know that I've seen various charities and the wages of all of the employees they have, the one that starts this much and there's others that have this much. And we are absolutely, totally clear that the bottom line is we will take a minimum base for our salaries and for our office administration expenses.
And that's completely normal across charities, absolutely.
It should be. It isn't always, but it absolutely should be. So right now we haven't. That's our plan to be able to keep it below a small percentage to be able to give most of it to the people who need it, because that's what we're in this for. It's not about us.
Yeah, I was just thinking. I know someone, or I knew this person personally, but they were in a situation where they'd been to the doctors, multiple doctors, and they weren't getting any help. And it finally took, they went to see a naturopath, and he was able to diagnose the situation. Yes. And it was years in the making, and they'd gotten to the point where they could, physically were almost not able to do anything. Yeah. And within, if I recall, within 3 to 6 months, back on her feet, back to normal, back to regular lifestyle, went back to work.
Isn't that great?
So I can appreciate that for sure. And what I do know is, all of the visits to the naturopath and whatever other things they had to do, none of that was covered by healthcare.
No, and it's hundreds of dollars. I remember getting something for me one time from a naturopath, and it was $600. And this was just some drops and whatever, but it absolutely changed what was happening in my body.
Sure.
I had an acupressure treatment, and it levels and measures your different body parts. And one of mine was, my pancreas was at 5, and it should have been at 50. And so the different homeopathic remedies that they gave me, it took several months. Again, it's not, with natural, it doesn't, you don't take a Tylenol 3 and you should be feeling better in 20 minutes.
Masking the
right?
symptoms.
Yes, but unfortunately, some drugs, they'll cause side effects, right?
Yes,
So we'd rather not do that if we don't have
Sure.
to, right?
Yeah.
And within 6 to 9 months of taking the different treatments that I got from this naturopath, it was back up to 50. So that's an acupressure test that they do. And for me, I would much rather spend a little bit more of that time. But as I said, the first treatment of drops was $600.
Right.
So that's just, a lot of people, that $600 is an awful lot of money.
Sure. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you for joining us today and letting us know. And hopefully, there's a lot of people out there that are watching that are saying, hey, we want to make a contribution. We want to be involved. So, we will find out after the 25th how it went. So if you're watching today and you say, hey, I'd like to make a contribution. So again, go to the website. You can look at, what is it? Fundingforlife.ca, right? Fundingforlife.ca. You can go to the website. And then you can also find out about the event. So it's on the 25th from 12 to 3 at Saanich Fairgrounds.
Right. And we're going to have a big red Central Saanich fire truck right out front.
Okay.
What kid doesn't like to see a big red Central Saanich fire truck?
You won't be able to miss it then.
That's exactly. We'll have balloons all across Stelly's Crossroads and kids with big signs saying, come on in.
Perfect.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, thank you again for joining us today.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Patrick.
And thank you all for joining us. And again, like we said, please take a minute, go to the website, check it out. And if you can, make plans to be there on the 25th from 12 to 3. And for everybody else that's watching, thank you for watching. If you haven't, please take a minute, subscribe to the channel. Maybe you're listening to this on Spotify. You'll have to also watch what date it is if you're doing that. But thank you for joining us. And if you have any questions for Patrick and I, you can reach out to us directly as well. So
We'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for joining us.
see ya.
Thank you. Bye.